All right, because we are virtual, I'm going to skip some steps here. You'll notice that it says that we need to follow steps 1 and 2 and write your conclusions. What step 1 and 2 would have us do is to draw two parallel lines. So we have line L and line R. I have them drawn in blue. And cut by a transversal, which is line M, I have it drawn in red. And then to number your angles in the order that I have them numbered. So if you want to do that now on your paper, go ahead. The next thing would have us do is to just do some investigation here and to actually measure these angles. Okay, and so you may do that. I'm just going to go through and look at our conclusions. And what we should find then is that as we're going through and looking at the measure of these is that we would see that this angle here and this angle here would have the same measurement. And it would be the same as this angle here and this angle here. We would also find that this angle 2 would have the same measurement as angle 3, as well as angle 6 and angle 7. And we're going to use that to look at a couple of theorems and postulates. And what we find then is that corresponding angles postulate. And postulate we believe to be true. And it says if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the corresponding angles are congruent. So that means that angle 2 and that angle 6 are corresponding angles and are therefore congruent. So angle 2 is congruent to angle 6. And we know that because parallel lines imply that corresponding angles are congruent. Now, if we look a little bit further, oops. A second to put those markings back in. We could also see that if we look at our alternate interior angles, that would be angle 6 and angle 3, that angle 6 is congruent to angle 3. Parallel lines imply that alternate interior angles are congruent. That's a theorem. We can solve that theorem. Alternate exterior angles tells us if we have two parallel lines cut by a transversal, then the alternate interior angles are congruent. So if we look at angle 1, the alternate exterior angle would be angle 8, and they would have the same measurement. And so therefore, angle 1 is congruent to angle 8. Parallel lines imply alternate interior angles are congruent. And so now we have 1, 2, 3 more things to add to our note cards.